Here with my first YouTube video. Today we're going to be creating a look using the Colourpop Disney Designer collection. I did pick up the eyeshadow palette, one of the Creme Luxe lipsticks, as well as a few of the Super Shock shadows. Gonna go ahead and start off with the brows using our Goof Proof Benefit Brow Pencil. Just want to spoolie out our brows here, make sure the hairs are nice and gelled together, or at least flowing in the same direction. So when we do go to trace out our brows, it's much easier to follow the natural growth of hair. You do want your brows to look as natural as possible. Oops, I almost forgot to use our Olay Hydrating Mist. Let's just go ahead and moisturize our face a bit. It has been quite cold and bitter here, so my skin's been a lot drier. Next, we're going to go in with the Maybeline Baby Skin Pore Eraser Primer. Just want to fill in our pores and also make sure that our foundation sticks to our face very well. And then I'm going to start off by tracing the natural shape of the under portion of my brows. On the top, I am going to go in a much thicker than what my natural brows look like. Trust me, it won't look that by the time I finish, but I do this because one of my brows grows a little bit higher than the other, and the other one doesn't really have a defined shape. Well, I won't say shape. It's just not defined at the top, so I have to make sure I draw them a little bit bigger and scope them down to the desired shape. And to do that, we are going to go in with our LA Girl Pro Concealer, just to kind of scope out the shape, make sure they are nice and arched, crisp, and neat here. Right now they're looking like woolly mammoth. And spin back this hair a bit so we kind of see what we're doing. It's almost done here. They are almost perfect. Actually, that would be a lie. They will never be twins. They're always going to be sisters, so no, they would never be perfect, but we're going to get as close as we can. On our eyelids, we're using that same concealer to go ahead as a eyeshadow base. Want to make sure we have a good clean start. For our first shadow, we are going to go in with the color Abu and mark crease. Just want to go ahead and blend that all over the outer portion of my eye, or the outer corner of my eye, and then blend it right up through the crease and across. Now this color doesn't show up very well on camera, but off camera it was very pigmented. Second crease shadow, we are going to be going into Juju, which is kind of like a bubblegum pink shade. Was a little bit nervous because it looked kind of ashen when I first put it on my skin, or my eyelid rather, and as you can see I'm kind of brown and ashy just don't mix. It's not a good mix. So I'm going to go ahead and blend those together. They did turn out very nicely once I had finished blending them out. And the key to shadow really is just keep blending. If you're scared, just keep blending. I'm going to go back in with the blue here. Well, not really, just the brush I used the blue on. Just kind of blend it back together. On the outer corner, I did try to go in with this plum shade. I believe it was Magic Carpet. Didn't quite show up as I expected it to. It looked much darker in the pan than it was. I'm not sure why I didn't show it on camera, but it looked much darker than it actually was. And following my original advice, I just kept blending. Just keep blending. It didn't quite work. So we're gonna go ahead and clean up the under eye and jump over into the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I'm gonna pull out Delectables, which is a deeper plum, dark purple shade. And there is the pigment that I was really hoping for with that first one. Whoops, got a little bit on my face. So I'm gonna ahead and blend that into the outer corner, kind of give it like a purple smoky haze over here. Not too smoky, I'm not gonna go in real deep here. Right, and then we're gonna go in with a different brush because that one just wasn't cutting it. It was kind of just smearing it all down my temples, and that wasn't working for me. Alright, so we can go into Poison Apple, which is a nice pink shimmery shade. Another color for pink, but I can't think of the name right now. But it was very, very pretty. I love the way that it shimmered on my eyelid here. So it's gonna kind of blend that into the center portion of our eyelid, a little bit over the top of that Delectable and Magic Carpet, and then more towards the center here. Didn't want to just plop it on the eyelid because I do want them to blend together as one cohesive look. So we're gonna go ahead and blend that back out with the same brush that we used for the deeper purple on the outer corner. And then we're going to go into the inner portion of our eye with the Be Our Guest Super Shock Shadow. Very, very pretty. I did pack that on with my finger. It just kind of goes on a little bit better with that. Please, please do not come for my nails in these comments. I know. We have all been in, ladies. Come on now. Unfortunately for me, today was the day that I decided I wanted to post a video. Okay, I guess you can come for me just a little bit. But just a little. Alright, so once we got Be Our Guest on the eyelid, we're going to go back in with the same brush that I used for Abu and kind of just blend everything together and gel it all in. And then I'm going going to touch up that outer corner just a little bit more with some of that Delectable from the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Next, we're going to go in with the Wet n Wild eyeliner. Well, gel eyeliner. This is actually a really, really good dupe for the Tarte Colourpop gel eyeliners. I used to use those all the time. Those are about $22 per eyeliner pot, and this one I think I paid $4 for, and it is amazing. It works exactly the same. It almost feels like the same formula. And I have very sensitive eyes, so it was bomb. $4, no sensitivity. I'm just going to clean that up with a little bit of concealer. Can't be out here with my eyeliner all half cocked, crooked, and to the left. Make sure it's nice and crisp and pointy. Right, so next we're going to go in with foundation. I'm trying something new here. I've not used this foundation before. If you see me making faces, it had a very chemical smell. I wasn't too happy with that. I mean, you don't smell it once you blend it in on your face and everything, but as far as like smelling the applicator, of course, and then the sponge all up under my nose, it just was strong. It is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus, I believe, foundation. I've heard good things about it from quite a few people. Unfortunately for me, it wasn't that great. I like a nice full coverage foundation, kind of like Lancome. I also do use the Revlon Color Stay foundation a lot. It's my go-to drugstore, and it works very well. Also, this particular foundation just kind of didn't blend in the way that I needed it to. Well, I won't say blend. It just wasn't my shade. That's why I didn't blend. We two different tones. Anywho, gonna go in with the same LA Girl Pro concealers. I use the darker one Toast on the innermost portions of my under eye to conceal. Then I'm gonna add the lighter shade Fawn around the outermost portions of my under eye, just to give that little bit of highlight, so a little bit of kick, brighten it up a bit. We gotta try to tone down this foundation a bit. It's red and I'm brown. Just gonna keep blending with our Real Technique sponge here. So we got everything nice and concealed and highlighted to our liking. And I'm gonna go in with our Sacha Buttercup setting powder just underneath the eyes, on my bridge of my nose, my forehead, Cupid's bow, and my chin. Basically everywhere that I went ahead and highlighted with. And on the outer portions of my face, like around my temples, my outer cheeks, and my forehead, I'm gonna go in with the Airspun powder next. Same thing with the Real Technique sponge, just gonna dab a little bit. I know, I look a little ghostly, but trust me, I won't look this way once we're finished. Trust the process. Alright, I'm gonna dust that off. I don't really bake, I'm just not a baker. Normally I come out looking like an ashen ghost, and that's not what I'm going for here. So we're gonna go into the True Complexion Contour Palette from Black Radiance. I'm just gonna pull out that darker shade and sculpt out our cheekbones. Don't have to be too precise here. I kind of just do this to add a little bit of warmth and color, especially when I'm using a foundation that's not quite my tone, so I've got to work a little harder to make it look nice. You can also put that around the outer portions of our forehead, underneath my jawline just a bit. Not too much, you know, I like my double chin to look normal. Next, we're going to go ahead and contour our nose a bit with a much smaller brush, and I do run that contour right up into my brows, just to give it much more of a natural look, if you ask me. Right now, I'm just dusting off all of the Sacha Buttercup and any excess powder that is left with my Kat Von D foundation powder. I believe it's in the shade Deep 71. I don't remember the exact foundation that it was. I will link it below though once I figure it out. I'm just going to keep dusting it off, just kind of blend everything together. I know, we're looking a little powdery and a little ghostly, but just work with me. Alright, so we're going to go into pretty much all shades in that row and use those as a highlight. I realized afterwards that was a very bad idea. Well, I won't say very bad. I just was a little heavy-handed. Those shadows were quite pigmented, and I probably shouldn't have gone so heavy-handed. So we're going to blend it out and look like Cindy Who from The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. And have to tone it back down. I mean, the highlight was cute. It just was a bit too much for where I was going today. Next, we're going to go into the Wet n Wild blush. I do have that in the shade Mellow Wine. Nice, pretty, orangish apricot. Apricot? I think that might be the word I'm looking for. Let me know in the comments below if I got that right. But nice, pretty shade for my skin tone. Went ahead and set my face in between, just because that's a lot of powder. We do want it to gel together. For mascara, we are going with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I absolutely adore this mascara. It makes my lashes pop so well. Unfortunately, this camera doesn't, so you can't see how great they look in person. It just would not let me be great, but that's okay. I know somebody who still thought it was cute. I normally would do falsies, however, I didn't have any on hand, so, well, I just wasn't in the mood for more, like, not that I didn't have them on hand. Maybe next time. So for the inner corner highlight, we're going to pop in Fairy Godmother. Yeah, I was a little shook when I saw how bright it was. I thought it was a little bit lighter tone. I also ended up putting it on my brow bone, and it kind of popped together. It wasn't too bad. For our lips, we are going to go in with the Belle Cream Luxe lipstick. This packaging is so cute. All the princesses have their little signature on it. Very nice shade. I'm just going to line my lips first with a brown Wet n Wild pencil. And I did not realize how much Wet n Wild products I actually used until the end of this video. Thought I had way more Colourpop products, but it's okay. We'll just make it a Wet n Wild Colourpop collab. Right, and then I'm just going to go in with that Belle on the lips. I was looking more for an ombre look to start, and then I realized it just wasn't going to work. Well, it worked, but it didn't go with the eyeshadow look that I was going for, but it was okay. So here's the final look. Just gonna go ahead and set one final time. Make sure everything gels together nicely. This is my first video on YouTube. Please let me know if you guys liked it. Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe if you did. And please come back and visit next time.